Welcome in, my Capricorn family, to Don Williams Tarot. Hope this message finds you well. I'm doing great. Thank you. Today's messages are for Sun, Moon, and Rising placements in the sign of Capricorn. So if you have those placements, this message may be for you. I typically always say, this is a general reading. So take what does resonate, leave what doesn't. But in this situation, I am doing specifically messages from spirit. So even though they might not completely resonate at this time, just tuck away some of those ones that might not seem as though they fit. Because I feel as though maybe as you're moving forward in September, that they will become a lot more meaningful for you. Okay. The other thing I'm going to say is this really is a timeless message. I am recording this on September the 9th, 2024. So whenever you come upon this is when it's meant for you. Okay. If you're brand new to my channel, I'd absolutely love it if you would subscribe. If you would be so kind as to click that notification bell so that whenever I drop content, you will be notified. I do live readings at least 2 times a week. This week, I plan to do 3 live readings because last week I only did 1. And one of my commitments to the people that I have as subscribers is that I will do at least 2 lives, a morning and a night. But this week, I'm going to do 3 because last week it didn't happen for me. So there is that. But I would love to have you as part of our team anyway. I do shorts and I do videos, I do live sessions, and I actually post as well on YouTube. That is where predominantly my information, I'm trying to migrate things over to X. I would absolutely love to start streaming from X, but I've got everything set up and I am not such a techie girl. Like I can do pictures, but I cannot do techie at all. So I need to work through some of that stuff. And I've got so much on my plate. So anyway, okay. So today's reading, I am going to take myself off screen like I typically do to pull your cards. As you can see, I've been shuffling the whole time that I've been chatting with you. So at least now you know that the cards have been shuffled quite a bit. And the messages for each of the rows, I will explain as I do them. So I am also going to be giving you messages from the 4 agreements as well as messages from the universe. So I hope you will stay to the very end. If you wouldn't mind, please give me that thumbs up now. It really does help my channel. It doesn't take anything for you to do that for me other than a click. So I appreciate that. And thank you. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and put myself off screen. And I've already shuffled your cards and I have split them. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And now I'm going to lay your cards out. And I'll explain to you what the 3 columns do represent as we get to each one. Ooh, beautiful cards. And let's see. These do kind of take up a lot of room. Oh, and there's that death card, but don't get nervous because it's okay. Okay, so Capricorn, do we see any pentacles? We absolutely do. So Capricorn, you are showing up here in a strong position. So I feel as though this is going to be okay. I don't have the devil, I don't have the world, and that's okay too. Okay, so the way that the columns are going is they're going up and down, right? These are 4 different questions for each of the columns. This first column, which I'm going to start reading to you, is what limiting beliefs are holding you back from reaching your full potential. And the first card is the Strength card. Now, for me, I love the Strength card because what this is saying is that you have been pulling in all of your life experiences in this life, as well as all of the life experiences that you've been able to ascertain from previous lives. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you're pulling in all of your strength from every single life, but it is pulling in information that is a bleed over from other lives into this one. So that would be anything that would be karmic in nature that you are really bringing in for yourself to resolve or to complete would be the word. The strength card for me is willpower. And this is a very quiet strength. What I do love about this card is it does show you that this right here is a Leo, the sign of the Leo, right? Because she does turn into the lion. But at the same time, this is a gentleness about her. Now, in the Rider-Waite deck, she is a woman and she's got her hands in the lion's mouth. And for me, what that means is that the lion and the woman have become very close to one another. They've learned to trust each other. And I feel as though she is integrating the courage of the lion. She's integrating that quiet, um, powerful, forceful nature of that lion within her. And yet she has that gentleness where she can still be with the lion and the lamb. And there is no, there isn't anything that is preventing them from integrating those energies together. The other thing about the strength card for me is that this strength card is also talking about your graceful leadership. You are being called at this time to become a leader. Doesn't mean that you have to like envision like, George Patton. You don't have to be that kind of a leader. Basically, what you do is you lead by example. So if you're living your life to the best and to the highest, fullest, and if you're in alignment with your higher self and you are putting your best foot forward every day that you can. I feel as though that is what is allowing other people to see your inner strength and looking towards you as that beautiful leader that you truly are. So, Capricorn, I do feel as though this energy is reflecting you as a kickoff to this whole reading for yourselves. Now, the second card we come across is the Seven of Wands. The Wands, of course, is that inspirational, creative, motivational, passionate energy. She also uses her intuition in her life. If you look at her, she's sitting here. She has those seven wands there. She may be feeling as though she is having to defend herself in some way. And in reality, what it is just a reminder that you need to protect your space. When you go into situations where they are new for you and you have absolutely no idea how or what is going to unfold before you, I have a tendency to want to always surround myself with white light anyway. But basically, what this is saying is you definitely want to protect your space. And it's just a reminder to don your armor of God every day before you go out, into the world. The other thing about the Seven of Wands is definitely gaining confidence, gaining experience, and really utilizing that fiery energy to get you to where you want to go. So your last card in this column is the Six of Pentacles. Now, I will want to bring up that again, we have that infinity sign here. The thing I love about the infinity sign is that, of course, it's talking about moving up, right? As we go up and we bring that energy from above down to ground it into Mother Earth. So look at this as, is the God source, whatever that represents for you. I call it prime creator source. And this is you here on Mother Earth, right? And you're bringing down that energy and you're grounded in your body. And then whatever it is that you have communication or whatever it is that helps you create a strong tie between your God source and you then send that energy back up to the God source. And it's kind of this loop that continues. So it's constant energy coming from the God source back down to you and you owning that energy. Now, the card itself represents the Six of Pentacles. The sixes always talk about persevering, keep going. You are on your right path. For me, this is my two-way abundance card. Of course, the pentacles do have to do with career, have to do with money, have to do with your physical security, your home life, can also represent your health. Some of you may be battling some health issues at this time that may be very difficult for you. At the same time, I feel as though you will be able to find your way if it's meant for you to stay here and to go through this process of this ascension as Mother Earth continues her ascension up uh, into the higher dimensions, realms, however it works. I'm not exactly completely sure because so much more information is coming out that's making you second guess everything. What this is really saying, though, is you're utilizing your inner strength just as a reminder, protect your space, put on your armor of God, and that two-way abundance. That is your energy that you're giving out is coming back to you as well. So I feel as though you're really stepping up into your full potential at this time. And if you're not, I feel like you're making great headway towards that goal. Your second column has to do with what spiritual lessons are you currently experiencing? Now, many of you have this 10 of Cups, which is that happy home, happy life, right? Many of you are feeling as though, even though you do have challenges in your life, that you are in a very comfortable place or you're in a very happy, stable environment. You might have a very good significant other. Your children are doing well. You are working towards building that beautiful home life for yourselves. Now, the other thing about tens, though, tens are also about completions and endings. So if it's a situation where some of you are working through a separation from your family or separation from your significant other, I do feel is because I'm saying that because there is a loss in this next card, and this is an emotional loss. So some of you may have started out in this energy, and some of you might have had some losses along your path. This can represent, you know, as much as we don't really like to talk about how the jab has affected us as a humanity, it has done some really a lot of damage. And a lot of us are just realizing the depth of that damage. I have been reading quite a bit recently about Moderna as well as the Pfizer vaccinations. And, they have come out to say that they were not exactly as they were originally um, described to us as humanity. And we're losing people in our families. And I feel as though that's exactly what this is talking about, is the loss of our loved ones. Five of Cups, right? Some of you may really be going through some heavy mourning periods because of that, feeling that loss, feeling as though you really are questioning, well, if there is a God, why is this happening? Those types of things. And I feel like it can be a struggle, but just know that fives are about changes coming in. And the other thing too that I remind people of when they, people that book readings with me and they've got people that have just passed or whatever the situation may be, even in my own life, because my life partner had committed suicide 1 month before retirement, and it was not expected. I found him 5 minutes after he did it. And yeah, it rocked my world. At the same time, even as I was going through that experience, I knew that this was his life choice. I knew that his soul had made an agreement. This was how he was going to go. And there is nothing that I could have done that would have prevented that, especially since it was a soul agreement, right? And that's kind of how you have to look at it. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that you don't want them here. But really, what it's saying is that if people are leaving the planet, I honestly believe it's because whatever's coming towards us, they were not wanting, willing, or wanting to experience, for one thing. And the other thing is that they might have had other things on the other side that they needed to do. And what they came here to do, they have completed, right? And that's kind of that energy here. So, what if you feel as though you are in the dark place, you are working through some of this loss? I reach my heart out to you and just know that I support you. I send you a lot of love and a great big hug. I have been here many times myself as well. And then the last card here in your column is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man for me is my card of this is a major arcana. This is the only major arcana you have in this row. And the hangman is a pause. It is a surrender to the universe. So again, as I was saying, those of you that have had some losses, just recognize that the hangman is is suggesting that you're going to have to allow that energy to be what it is. I know that you will struggle with the whys, or you might have a lot of questions about how to release and let go, and recognize that you never really truly have to let go because you will always have the memories. You will always have that love within you. You are going to carry them with you no matter where you go, right? You will always have them close in your heart. It's going to be a feeling as though you cannot communicate with them, but I can tell you from my own experience, you can talk to them and they will bring you signs that they're here and listening and helping you. Now, the hangman is also that energy of letting go, embracing the new. This is aligning your heart with your purpose. This is about allowing yourself to think about things in a new way. It's also a card of really saying that you need to double down on your good stuff, whatever that is for you. Now, the thing about the hangman is when you're on this in this position, you cannot fight this energy. It's really a surrender to the universe. And when the universe is ready for you to progress and move forward, you will do so, because then you will be released from this position. At the same time, there will be a lot of epiphanies. There will be a lot of revelations. There will be information coming in for you to assess. And this is really going to really help you with your spiritual lessons. And I feel as though right now you probably are going through a lot of that right now as you're formulating, assessing, releasing things that don't align and vibe with you. And also allowing yourself to be open and expansive enough that if there are things that are coming towards you that you might not have ever thought of, or you've never been introduced to before, keep your heart open and see if there is some resonance there. There might be nuggets of information that spirit is trying to get your attention with. Okay. Now, your third column has to do with how you can cultivate a healthier physical spiritual balance. I do see that, yes, with that 7 of Cups, you are definitely spoiled for choice. There is a lot of information out there, and a lot more is going to be surfacing about how, this planet was seeded, how it was created, who was here, all the ETs, all the stuff. There's so much stuff, right, that is coming in now. And basically, what this card is saying, there are so many options that I can look at. And he is just sitting there going, I don't even know what direction to go. He's not seeing things completely clear. He has realized there are other available cups to him. And now he's going through that process of which one do I look at first? How do I get clarity? How do I really see the direction that I want to go? And the first thing that I'm going to say is you are want to go within yourself to find those answers. My Hierophant is definitely about going within. If you look at this guy, he is a major arcana. He is associated with the Taurus sign. So he's definitely an earth sign for you, Capricorn. He's grounded. He is blissed out because, he is his own spiritual guru. He is his own spiritual mentor. He's definitely has the goal of ascension. He's very much connected to his higher self. He's bringing back all of those blessings to himself. And because he is the Hierophant, he is sharing those blessings with those around him. I really do feel as all of your answers are within you. So you really have to go and do the work. This is about personal development. This is talking about you being a spiritual teacher for yourself. It's really talking about once you kind of realize and connect and it all makes sense to you, then you can become that teacher to others where you share your ideas with others to find out who resonates with you and your thoughts about your path. This is also my card of um, it's a very much a very deep spiritual learning experience. And I feel as though what it's really saying is if you allow yourself to pick a cup, make sure it aligns with your heart, you sit down with it, you go within and you find how it all resonates together. The death card is coming in and it's basically stating that this isn't a physical death, it's a symbolic death. It's the death of your ego. When you are working on your spiritual path, yes, we are always going to have an ego there, but at the same time, our spiritual side, our spiritual wisdom can quiet down that ego enough so that we are operating from that higher vibration, that higher realm. The ego will always fight you because the ego it has a fear of death, right? But at the same time, with this death card, it's really saying that it is a symbolic death. You are going through a big transformation and a rebirth. It is an opportunity for you to look at new beliefs to find out whether or not they align with your ideas, or if you can incorporate some of them into a new system of belief. The other thing about the death card is it's about new beginnings. It's cycles of transformation. We go through them all the time. This is not supposed to scare you when you see the death card. And what I love about the way that Chris Ann created these cards was that she meant for this to be the Reaper, right? He's got his sickle above his head. But at the same time, it's not a scary card because really what it's saying is the death of the old allows the birth of the new. And that's exactly the transformational energy that you are working through at this time. So I champion you for that. And then your last column has to do with what steps can you take to align with your self-purpose? Now, the first card, of course, is my high priestess. Doesn't matter if you're a male listening to this video, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. This card is the only major arcana in this column. So you've had major arcanas in every column, which is awesome. This high priestess energy is telling you about your intuition. As you can see, she is in so much alignment with her higher self. These are natural counterparts of one another as well. As you can see, she's really bringing down that information for herself. She's highly intuitive, very psychic, very clairvoyant. All of her gifts are coming online or have been online. She utilizes and operates from that higher level. Now, the other thing about the high priestess is that she has very she's also an individual that is helping many of us heal our sexual traumas. So that is an energy that is coming in. So for those of you that may be suffering from something that's happened when you were younger, sexual traumas that have happened to you, she is helping you come to terms with that, come into alignment, help you to build stronger boundaries for yourself. Okay, so that is an energy that you're pulling in from. You're just pulling all of that knowledge and wisdom from your higher self, grounding it here on Mother Earth. Now, my Knight of Pentacles, he is my slowest moving knight. his actions are all about taking action, but he does it in a very purposeful way. As you can see, he's walking, is not riding his horse. The knight is definitely taking some kind of action, but he is assessing for himself what really works for him. He is doing it with purpose and dedication. He doesn't follow the path of others. He's definitely walking his perimeter, his home, his physical security, and that's kind of where his attention is. So I feel as though you are really making some strides here in your spiritual self, and you are implementing them with your physical and grounding it here in your physical world. Again, those pentacles do represent us, the earth signs. So I feel as though that is in alignment with you as well. Now, the last thing is saying, for those of you who may have taken your time to really decide that you are walking a spiritual path or that it is important to you, I feel as though you are moving from a place of toxicity or a place of darkness, a place of resistance into a calmer place. This card is moving from chaos to difficulty, chaos to comfort, or chaos to calmer shores. And again, she has these birds here. The birds are meant to represent kind of the magic that happens when you move yourself from a toxic place and you allow yourself to move to a place that is more comfortable for you, that you feel as though you're safe, right? And I feel as though many of you might have been dipping your toes into some of the spiritual practices out there, and you might have felt a little bit burnt. Maybe you've opened up some kind of energies that you might have been feeling some psychic attacks, or you might have been feeling as though, you're working through some of that dark energy that now that you're opening up some of your higher gifts, you're really finding that you're also attracting some of that lower, darker energy. But I feel as though you're learning how to really utilize your space to protect your space, right? Putting the bubble around you so that you can ward off any of those energies that are coming in and diddling where they do not belong. Okay. So overall, it looks really good for you. I feel as though you have made a tremendous amount of progress, Capricorn. Of all my signs, I've always kind of kept my eye on my Capricorns because I have a few friends that are Capricorns as well, and I'm always looking out for everybody's best interest. But all the cards here have been really pretty positive, with the exception of some of the losses that some of us may be feeling from the loss of family members or whatever this is representing. This can also be representing a loss of self, and let me explain that a little bit. Sometimes when you start opening up that door to spirituality, and you're stepping through and you're like, okay, I'm going to start reading all these books and I'm going to start to listen to all these people. The thing I'm going to caution you about is always bring it back to self. Don't give your power to other people. They might have great ideas. I mean, I'm even saying that about myself, right? I'm here to be a teacher, but I'm supposed to be a leader. But again, it's to lead by example. Set the example by living your life as high as you possibly can, right? I am trying to teach people to step into their sovereignty, not comply with authority, or if that's in alignment with your heart, right? And that's just kind of what this is all. So let's look at your last couple of cards here. I'm going to put that out and these out. And your first card is don't make assumptions, discern the truth. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are all truth. We make an assumption, we misunderstand. We take it personally, then we react by sending emotional poison with our word. This creates a whole big drama for nothing. I absolutely love this message. I'm going to read it again. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are true. We make an assumption, we misunderstand. We take it personally, then we react by sending emotional poison with our words. Words, spelling. This creates a whole big drama for nothing. I actually love this because I really feel as though it's absolutely true. That is exactly what happens. This describes. So, as I was saying, if you are coming from your highest aspect, that you will really be mindful of the words that you speak. Don't make assumptions. You got two of these. Eliminate gossip. Making assumptions is a setup for suffering because usually we gossip about our assumptions. We make assumptions and believe we are right. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong, right? I'm going to read that one again. Making assumptions is a setup for suffering because usually we gossip about our assumptions. We make assumptions and believe we are right. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong. How many times have you stepped into this trap? I have a bunch of times, and I'm to the point now where I'm able to look at someone and go, really? That's the way you think, huh? Huh. Interesting. Okay, first message from the universe. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. Change comes from thinking thoughts you've never thought before and showing up to meet them down streets you've never walked before. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to put this up here so you can read that. That's a good card. Love that card. And your last message today, and if you haven't done so, please give me a thumbs up and subscription. Thank you. If you frequently give your permission to doodle, wander, and be totally unproductive, and you will actually relish such interludes, I can guarantee that your genius, creativity, and productivity will increase exponentially. So, what is it saying? It's really saying, we typically have focus. We focus on all these things. It's really what it's saying in order to bring in that inspiration, that wand energy, that creativity, that passion. Daydream. You got to let your mind, just kind of wander every now and then, right? I actually love that card. That's a great card. Give yourself permission to wander, and it really does open your mind up. Love it. Okay, I'm going to bring myself back online. So that's what I've got for you today, Capricorn. There was a lot of information here. I know this is a long reading, but I really felt inspired, and I'm so happy that I got to read for you today. I really do feel as though the messages were very strong, powerful, empowering, should you decide to implement some of them into your life. So, from my heart to your heart, I'm sending you a lot of love, light, happiness, and joy, should you so decide to accept those things from me. And until next time, take very good care of you. I read all of your comments, so if you have any messages for me, put them in the comment box below. I will be more than happy to respond. Till next time, cheers.